Joining us now is Topeka City Councilman and Deputy Mayor Spencer Duncan. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to start with the 50/50 sidewalk repair program. So the city is accepting applications to remove and replace defective public sidewalks. So tell us how this program works.
Well, it works for some, it doesn't work for others. The gist of it is exactly what it says, 50/50. We will repair and pay for half the sidewalk if you can pay for the other half. And for some citizens that works great, so I encourage everyone to apply for that, especially if they have a really bad sidewalk. For others, there is some assistance. If you go to topeka.org, our website, or contact our Public Works Department, they can tell you if there's some assistance available. It's limited, first come, first serve, but there are some other options for people who can't afford that other 50.
Okay, and where and how can people apply for this?
Yeah, topeka.org, there's a link if they look for the sidewalk program, and then like I said, or just call our Public Works Department, and they're happy to direct you to the application. But we also recognize that program needs revamped because not everyone can afford to do 50/50, and we've got sidewalks that are buckling and horrible and people can't get across them, and we recognize we have some responsibility to take care of that problem for folks who just can't afford to do it.
Are there any requirements that people need to meet before they sign up?
There aren't, as long as they can pay the other 50 for that part of it. But no, there are some income requirements if you're asking for full assistance or if there's extenuating circumstances, or you can show us it's a truly well-used area that's very dangerous, then we can step in and see what we can do from our end.
Okay, now I want to move on to the 2023 budget. The City Council and the public got a first look this week at it, so tell us about some of the things in next year's budget.
Well, two things I think are important. One, we're going to what we call an outcome-based budgeting system, which the short version means it will show us exactly where the dollars are being spent, and then we will start ranking those and telling us, is that the good use of those dollars and is it actually being effective? The other thing that's a little different this year is, and I'll take some credit for putting forth the resolution, is we're looking at a mill levy decrease. So this budget has a 1 mil decrease. I'd like to see more, but we'll get there. But it does have a tax decrease in it for the first time in over a decade.
Okay, yeah, that was one of the main concerns, was to lower taxes. And tell us more about the mill levy.
Yeah, I mean, valuations were up, so we're going to take in more money this year, which is good in the sense that we have lots of things to pay for, but that also means we have some responsibility to react to what people have to pay. And so when that revenue goes up with valuation, some of us feel there's a responsibility to lower that mill levy to reduce the tax burden on our citizens.
Okay, and there's another special meeting coming up for the public to discuss this proposed budget. So when and where will that be?
Yep, Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, although it's at the Holiday Building, not in our regular chambers. But come, either talk there, call us, email us. We actually do, most of us read our emails or return our phone calls or listen to those messages. So anyone who has an idea on how we can better do this budget, just reach out if you can't actually make it down to the meeting on Tuesday night. And this will go on for about 2 months. So people have about 2 months to give us their input before we have to pass a budget.
Okay, now we're almost out of time, but I wanted to end with, you accepted a new position with the League of Kansas Municipalities, so tell us about that.
I did. I'll be their Director of Government Affairs. I've been a lobbyist for the last 20 years, so it's in my wheelhouse, but it'll be nice to be able to represent the cities across the entire state and then bring everything I learned that's happening in those other cities back to Topeka and say, hey, that didn't work, that did work, why aren't we doing that, or maybe we should try that. Okay. So that's the goal.
Yeah, well, exciting stuff. Congratulations on that new position.
Thank you very much.
And Spencer, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yep, anytime.
Now for a look at your forecast, let's send it over to meteorologist Becky Taylor.